This is a very, very basic truth. Christians of previous generation, I would say up to World War I, were basically conscious of this fact. The world is not our home. But since that time, many, many Christians had lost this perception and live as if we really belonged here. Our thought and our ambition and our plan are focused on the things of time. We are earthly. When we become earthly, what is the next step down? Soulish. What is the essence of the soul? The ego. What is it to be soulish? It's to be egocentric, to be absolutely concerned with number ones, they say. The soulish person says, what's in this for me? The spiritual person says, how can I glorify God? I think you'll agree. I think I'm not being cynical. There is a great deal of soulishness in the contemporary church defined this way. Then the soulish opens up to the demonic. When you get into the realm of the soulish, you're exposed to the demonic. This, I believe, is primarily what permits demons to infiltrate the people of God, the work of God. A little later, I'll give you 5 examples of what has happened in this century. Let's consider for a moment 2 Old Testament patterns of people who moved out of the earthly into the soulish, and from the soulish to the demonic. They were very distinguished people. The first one is Aaron. If you turn to Exodus 32, you will find something that always astonishes me. Here was the anointed and appointed high priest making a golden calf. I want to analyze what it says in Exodus 32, 1 through 10. Moses at this time is up on the mountain. They have not seen him for something like 40 days. So it says, now when the people saw that Moses delayed coming down from the mountain, the people gathered together to Aaron and said to him, come, make us gods that shall go before us. For as for this Moses, the man who brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we don't know what has become of him. The very significant phrase there is, the man who brought us up out of the land of Egypt. They had lost sight of God. They were focusing on human leader. And I believe almost inevitably that will lead to idolatry. When we lose our vision of God and focus on God's servant, we're in great danger. So, Aaron said to them, break off the golden earrings which are in the ears of your wives, your sons and your daughters, and bring them to me. So all the people broke off the golden earrings which were in their ears and brought them to Aaron. And he received the gold from their hand, and he fashioned it with an engraving tool and made it a molded calf. Then they said, this is your God, O Israel, that brought you out of the land of Egypt. So when Aaron saw it, this is an amazing description. When Aaron saw his own calf, he built an altar before it. And Aaron made a proclamation that said, tomorrow is a feast to the Lord, to Yahweh or Jehovah. I mean, I find it hard to understand how Aaron could do that. But if Aaron could do it, you and I can do it. We're no better than Aaron. Probably most of us are not nearly of his caliber. Then it said, they rose up early on the next day, offered burnt offerings and brought peace offerings. And the people sat down to eat and drink. They rose up to play. That's the essence of idolatry, play. When our worship becomes play, we've moved out of the spiritual into the soulish, and ultimately into the demonic. I don't want to appear critical, but I have to say, to my understanding, most of what is called worship in the charismatic movement is not worship at all. Often it's very self-centered. God heal me, God bless me, God make me feel good, God do this and God do that. It is egocentric, it is soulish. Only the Spirit can focus directly on God. Much of the music that we have in the church today appeals to the soul, stimulates the soul. It's very much the same kind of music as is used in the world to stimulate the soul. I'm no expert in music, absolutely not at all. I cannot sing a note in tune. But I have a certain sensitivity to the impact of music. Having lived 5 years in Africa, I'm aware that certain repetitive themes and rhythms can deaden your sensitivity if you sit under that long enough, especially when it's very loud. You lose the capacity to discern. And in Africa, those rhythms are used to call up demons.